What is up, everyone? Good morning. Can you hear me? Let me know if you're one of my wolves. We're using the Discord chat this morning. Or I'm sorry, if you're one of my wolves in the Discord chat, we're using the YouTube chat this morning. Where's everyone joining me from? Love hearing where you guys are joining from. It's usually all over the world, which is wild to me. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Hope everyone had an amazing morning or had an amazing weekend. As most of you can tell, it's not my normal setting. It's actually quite a bit prettier than that. We're up in a cabin in the woods. My son had a baseball tournament this weekend, so we made an extra day out of it. Again, we're using the YouTube chat. Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello? Hey. Beautiful. So let's jump right into it. All right, let's jump right into it this morning. Like I said, I'm not at my house right now, so I don't have my normal setup. I do have a much prettier view at the moment. Yeah, very pretty, but it's all good. We're gonna get to it. This is the beauty of this job to me. This is the beauty of trading, right? My family's downstairs right now. My wife, 4 kids, a baseball. One of my son's baseball friends' families is here, so there's like 8 kids down there right now. It's a shit show over here, y'all. It is an absolute shit show. Okay. Bit slower scan this morning. Bit slower scan. Happy Canada Day, eh? I didn't know that was a thing. But happy Canada Day to all my Canadian traders. DSLR is our top percent gainer at the moment. Okay. A much slower scan than we've seen recently. As always, Monday mornings, I'm going to let things shake quite a bit. Okay. CSLR we've got. It says 20 million in the float. Okay. LPTV, and I'm just going to give it a once through just to see what's going on. We got RELI, which looks like a fresh reverse split. Okay, that's why they're up 1,752%. If you guys have any questions or any comments, just let me know in the chat. I'm going to try to do much better at getting to your guys' comments and questions as we're getting through this. Okay. But CSLR, like I said, Catalyst here. Complete Solari eliminates 67 million of private equity debt. Okay. It's a good amount of debt to eliminate, for sure. Right? We've actually been seeing this catalyst recently. It's a catalyst that, may or may not push stocks. It's always a pump, in other words, right? Just because they eliminated that, I bet you they have some other debt somewhere else. Either way, good push on the news from $1.15 or so to the twos. Process-wise, we still got to get into some process here. Let's get into the charts real fast. Here's CSLR. Their daily has already ran from 20 cents. They already went on a big multi-month run this year to the twos, then pulled back to $1. Now we're pushing back to 2, right? So all of this range all of this dip has been bought up from a macro perspective, which is always the most important thing to me. From a macro perspective, though, right? It's like a breakout level hold, was obviously more the edge here was with people swinging it, I suppose. Okay. That's the way I look at it. So edge here is a bit diminished when I'm trying to buy it in the twos, and it's had a history for the last 3 months of trading over $1. Does that make sense? And into the 2 area. So what you're looking at is a potential gap up right now, breakout, right? 214, 215. This is where the stock's trading right now. So can't forget big picture first. We always talk big picture first. That's why we hit the daily chart first. Sorry, I'm going to turn this mic down a little bit so I don't bust your eardrums. Volume okay for you guys? It's not my mic from home. Let me know in chat. Volume's okay, all right? Anyways, so big picture, 230, buck 15 support, 230 resistance, right? Where it's literally already shied away from there this morning, could be breaking out over the, maybe gapping up over a significant breakout level, okay, on the daily chart here. Granted, there wasn't a lot of volume in this move, right, when it went from ones to the twos, but so that's the only thing. There wasn't a lot of volume here that would make me say, hey, oh, bag holder, stuff like that. But it's still a pretty significant looking level on the chart, if that makes sense. So for me, in terms of CSLR, tough call. I'm not going to buy into the breakout, and I won't buy the breakout. I really don't like buying breakouts when we get big gaps over breakout levels or into breakout levels. I just don't. I'm not a big fan of trading breakouts, period. Okay? Excuse me. So understand, if this is going to break out today, like this morning, pre-market, it's not for me. You know, I'll let it shake real hard and then maybe give like buck 75 area look, sub VWAP, right? I don't buy over VWAP, y'all. Most people are going to tell you that's where you buy once it gets over VWAP or once it gets through high a day or once it gets through pre-market highs. And we all know, at least my students know, and the people that I work with and the way I've traded for forever is not that. It's always below VWAP. It's always maximizing reward, right? Minimizing risk, getting better and better entries. I'll be watching buck 75 this morning, and that's pretty much it for an entry idea. All right. When buying reversals, am I buying in anticipation or waiting for confirmation? Either way, I can do it either way. It depends on the setup, right? And conviction. Oh, crap. What just happened? Sorry, y'all. No. Oh, my windows are open. Sorry. Okay. There's so much to buying reversals, right? And here's the best advice I can give you. Practice. Hold on one second. I gotta tell the kids to be quiet. No yelling. We got like two 6-year-olds, two 10-year-olds, two 8-year-olds here. My daughter. It's wild. Okay. Anyways, that's what we're watching for CSLR. Then we've got LPTV, bottom bouncer on LPTV, XTIA, GDHG, SNTI are all sub a buck. All right. So that's telling me that this week's already shifting back towards sub dollar stocks. Last week we saw a bunch of higher price stocks running, right? Last week we saw a bunch of $3, $7, $10 stocks running. All right. I know it's not for you guys, it's for me. It was like, can focus. Who can relate? Let me know in chat. Who's got kids at home and can relate? It's like, be quiet just for 5 seconds of your life. Love them so much. And they're so loud. Okay, so there's CSLR idea. XTIA, it's done 13 mil volume this morning, 10 mil dollar volume. Says the float's 5 mil. They have a PR, signs a capital distribution agreement for proposed investment of up to $55 million at $275 million valuation. So that's a decent sounding PR, no doubt, especially for this market at the moment. And it's a pretty fresh PR. So you're seeing this just hit, right? 9 o'clock, like right when this session started. Okay, right when this session started. So super simple. We'll keep this very, very, very simple. I'm going to watch this area for potential risk entry and risk, right? This area. I may not get it back. We'll see. We may just see this honestly go through pre-market highs now in a buck. I hope not. I want this, the way the PR came out and everything. I would love for this to just open anything under VWAP for me. That's what I want. Okay, on XTIA, I'm sorry. Decent sound of PR. Okay, good amount, really good amount of volume just came in over the last 20, 30 minutes. Let's check this daily chart out, do due diligence. Let me get my also. My man, the Friendly Bear, was just on his podcast. Should be good. Should be coming up soon. Okay. Sorry, I am going to run through these tickers and double check floats and fundamentals really fast. This is dilution tracker. For those who don't know, this is what I use to quickly go through fundamentals, make sure I need to see what I need to see. Okay. 1 second. So XTIA's float is actually 24 mil. It's not 5. Okay. Big difference. Overall risk high. Looks like they've got a fat ATM is what they've got. An ATM is an at-the-market offering. They've also got an S1 in progress, not priced. Okay. So they're going to price an S1 on XTIA. All right. And listen to this. Smash the like if you're starting to understand the game here. The game here is XTIA put out a PR saying, look, we're valued at $1 billion, a cajillion dollars. And meanwhile, they are going to use all the volume that just came in and today's move to dump shares, right? They've got an ATM. This is to put money in their pockets. All right, y'all. They've got an S1 from December 23rd that's in progress, $10 million. Final pricing, final shares offered, right? We don't have that yet. So they're going to price it. But first, it would help them to get their if it hasn't already been priced. But first, they got to get their share price up a little bit. And then the rest of that is an ATM. So XTIA, that's why you see, look, big gap up. This is the other part of process, right? Let's go to our daily chart. Big gap up. All right, big gap up. Smashed, right? Volume came in on this day. That was 60 million in volume. On this day, they did 35 million volume, also smashed, right? So just understand they're dumping shares. They've also gone on multi-day runs before, so it's not that they can't. But now the float's bigger. It's definitely not a 5 million share float. They definitely dumped into that gap to 2 last time. Right now we're gapping to 71 cents, right? Up to this previous resistance, 75 cents. So XTIA is not that straightforward, right? Which is why for me, it would be this area and then a single in the 70, 75, and that's it. That's all I'd be looking for, really. Okay. So XTIA quite dilutive with an ATM, so they can just dilute anywhere. It's not like necessarily getting their price inflated, although it does help. Okay. So those are my very, very basic plans for CSLR. All right. Very basic. They're opening up really strong. But unless I get levels that I like, I won't be trading it. XTIA we looked at, LPTV, Loop Media. Yeah, big pre-market spike, 14 to 30, 100% spike, 50% drop, basically, right? Oddly enough, if this holds up, it can spike, right? It looks dead, but in this market, with this price, this can spike. And when I say spike, I mean for technically a single, maybe 20 cents, something like that. That being said, with the shift in momentum on our scan as well, the game for me on a morning like this morning is definitely let things shake out, right? 5-10 minutes. See how everything's going to set up for the week. If you haven't noticed that theme, it works pretty damn well. I've been using it my whole career, basically, for day trading specifically, especially in small cap. Like, what's Monday going to bring? That's often going to produce what we see on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Does that make sense? And I'm often trading on Wednesday these days, and Tuesdays I'm often trading something that popped from Monday. On Thursdays I'm potentially trading third green day surge from Tuesday and a first green day bounce from Monday or from Friday the week before. So there are a lot of plays that are having backside moves, or technically what seem to be backside, but then end up being breakouts and big moves to the upside. So that's what I'm keeping in mind as well, right? If I miss plays, it's not a big deal in this market. They may provide, and oftentimes I'm talking about day one gappers. They're oftentimes providing more predictable maybe not as explosive, but more predictable, better setups on day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6. Does that make sense, everyone? Let me know in chat. It's actually an amazing set of circumstances that we have going on right now. Okay, it's a really amazing set of circumstances that we have going on right now. And that we're getting multi-day, multi-week moves, right? It's a big deal to understand that. And then to understand, listen, you don't have to have FOMO on these ones that are hitting your scan and they're up a ton, you know? They're up a ton. And this morning, it's actually pretty chill. Like I said, this scan right now is very slow for what we've been seeing in this market, right? That being said, it should concentrate most of the shorts and longs into a few tickers like CSLR this morning, LPTV. You can see volume-wise, XTIA, SNTI put out a PR. SNTI put out a PR too. They say their float's 30. They're awarded something. California Institute for Regenerative Medicine grant. So they got a grant. It's nothing to really write home about, but it can be a good catalyst when biotechs are moving. Only plans. SNTI is an old pump as well, I believe. Yep. An old pump and dump as well. Or SPAC. Oh, it's a biotech. I don't think they're Chinese, actually. I think that's one of the ones where they weren't. Yeah, listen, summer trading being slow is just something people say. Honestly, I've been doing this almost a decade, and I've gotten about half slow, half crazy, right? Maybe July, maybe August, maybe a little bit of a slowdown some years, but I find it to be more like the year at this point, like they move in years as opposed to seasons. I don't find that like, there are certain seasons like biotech's early in January, February, oftentimes, stuff like that. But nah, this has not been a slow summer, right? If we've considered June summer, June was hot. Not just weather-wise. Now we've seen, I have no 100% gainers. And for those who know about aggression for me and my process and what I try to teach, when we don't have 100% gainers on our scan, okay, be it pre-market or at the end of the day, at both, I'm looking at both, okay? If we don't have 100% gainers on the scan in the morning, generally speaking, I am going to be a little bit more cautious just off the bat. On a Monday, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious just off the bat, unless I have a really good feel based off Friday and last week's action. We have big macro circumstances that are continuing on into this week, right? Generally speaking, that's the case. So Mondays are going to be used anyways. I like to let things shake. And again, if you miss a Monday play, good. That's the way I see it. If I miss a huge move on Monday, good. I got something to trade hopefully tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. That ticker. Also, then I'll also know, okay, this is what moved, and I'm going to figure out what's going to move next for Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. All right? If you're trying to long small cap, and you are taking big losses, you have so much to do. You have a process to build. You've got a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff wrong with what you're doing. The whole point of small cap is what I've been able to do forever is find very low risk, very high reward opportunities over and over and over and over again. That is the goal, right? Because they're dumping on us and they're using your losses to put money in their pockets, right? You're not just losing to short sellers. You're not just, losing to me. Technically, it's a zero-sum game. When I'm selling at high of day and you were buying at high of day and I bought it near low of day, right? I win. You technically will lose, right? I have great risk reward. You have terrible risk reward. You just don't know yet. And that's fine because that's who I was. And that's why I teach, to try to get you guys away from doing stuff like that and gals away from doing stuff like that. And everyone teaches strategies that involve putting you in danger. Right? Breakouts, high day breaks, intraday high day breaks, right? Wedge breakouts, any sort of breakout, right? That everyone teaches. That's all anyone teaches. Put you in danger when it doesn't work and you don't know how to control the trade. You're buying the dead top. What's a failed breakout? Also called the top, right? When a breakout fails, it's the top. So for someone who doesn't have control over what they're doing, all right, you just bought at the top and you're going to be holding it till the bottom where you'll sell, or maybe you're going to hold it forever, right? And become a bag holder. So that's the idea. All right. So there's not too much on the scan. There's not too much for me to watch this morning. So we can have a quick discussion. We got about 5 minutes. All right. Before I get to live trading. For my wolves, you can start to join me here in a second. Dun, 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 dun. It's going to be a shorter one because I got to hit the road here in a little bit this morning. But we're definitely going to run it anyways. Okay. Let me get to a couple questions. A little bit less formal this pre-market prep, but that's because I'm on vacation. So yeah, summer, hit or miss. I don't care what the month is. If there's stuff running, I'm playing. Is there a float I won't trade for the most part? Garrett asked, say above 50 million, or is it just dependent on volume? There's no float I won't play if I think it can move or be a good trade. That being said, I get over 100, 200, 300 million, and we start to get into that, and I'm not even trading small cap anymore. So that really is the question. It's more what's the market cap as opposed to what's the float. You know what I'm trying to say? The only exception to that is our penny stocks, right? So if we're trading stocks that are sub 10 cents and they've got 100 million share float, yeah, it's still a pretty big float, but it's different because everyone are trading big amounts of shares. Does that make sense? So if it's a 10-cent float or less, I'm trading like 50, 100, 200, 500,000, a million shares, right? At that price. So in that case, it's different, right? It's different. The float being so big doesn't impact the movement quite as much. What impacts the movement when you're looking at 10-cent stocks, 15-cent stocks, 20-cent stocks, generally speaking, are that they're being algorithmically driven to highs and lows so that they can dump shares. Period. Okay? Just remember that. If you've learned nothing else this morning and you're new, high a day, I sell there. I teach to sell there. Right? At least some. Okay? At least that's a profit-taking area, not a buying area. Through high of day, through pre-market highs. Okay? You're from Croatia. I was at Rijeka. Rijeka. Beautiful country. Absolutely beautiful country. Let me hit this few more questions here. So the float, yeah, I don't care so much. And I don't filter by float because if I filter by float, I'll miss splits. Like this one, for example, Rely. That's not bad because their float was already low, or they may have, yeah. Either way, and oftentimes I'll see like 200 million share, 300 million share floats. I don't need it anymore because I have other tools for finding splits, but a few more questions. Just try to get to all your questions. Smash that like if you're appreciating the pre-market preps. We have like a bunch of more lessons coming this week as well. Let's see. Been paper trading. Awesome. Been paper trading since March. Been reading books on trading and following the market since 16. Have a funded account of 28K and I have cold feet now. Why? This is what you worked toward the whole time. And it goes to show how not useless, but how different paper trading and studying is, right? I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but what I'm saying is, okay, now is your time to go get experience in the markets, and you can't get it without trading, right, my friend? So trade, right? Trade. It's what we're here to do. If you don't start, you don't ever get to become a trader, right? You don't ever get to go down this journey. So that goes for everyone. You got to trade, right? Risk what you're good risking, of course, right? Small size is the best advice I can give you. It's not about making money right now, right? If you're just starting and you're just starting live trading, it is about getting experience for the next year, 2 years. You want that mentality of, okay, let's get experience, not let's make money. If you're here to make money, you're screwed. You're going to just lose it all pretty much at the end of the day, because it is the making of the money idea when we get into the markets that handicaps us from seeing the truth of what we're supposed to be doing, which is figuring out how to rewire ourselves from a greed and fear standpoint, when to be greedy, when to be fearful, when to pull the trigger, when to panic, like all the certain things that we're going to have to learn along the way. Okay. Joined Tim challenge. My new recommendation. Good luck. There's too much. Just start wherever. I'd start with anything Tim Grattani did. It would be my very first start. And then the rest, there's just a lot. It's been a long time. I don't know what's in there, to be honest. I've not been in that room for years and years. All right, my friends, I got to roll. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're one of my wolves, I'll see you guys in the Discord. We're going into the stage at the moment. So I'll see you guys here. The rest of you, thank you so much for joining me. If you want to join in on the lives every day as well, hit the link below. I think we're giving 20% off for a few of you. So that's what we're doing. The rest of you, I love you so much. We will catch you guys for the next pre-market prep, and we'll be getting quite a few lessons to you this week. So best of luck to everyone. Stay safe. Go